Once upon a time, I used to be a child who always tried to follow the same path other people did. Once upon a time, I used to be a child who always tried to behave the same as other people did. Why? Because I thought that was the best way to protect my life. I was born and grown up in a place where similarity is much appreciated. The place is called Japan. There, one thing I learned during my childhood was if we want to avoid the problems, just behave the same way as other people do. That difference often causes problems among us. For example, those who carry the school bag with a very unique color often became the target of teasing after school. Some reasons, all boys carry black school bags, all girls carry the red school bags, even though it was not specified in anywhere of school rules and regulations. Likewise, those who spoke the language with very unique accents often became the target of teasing, and then that affected sensitive hierarchy in a classroom, even though we're all children. So, the strategy to avoid these unwelcome events is simple. Carry the same school bags. Speak the same languages. I left the country in my mid-20s to study abroad, and since then, I have lived in all foreign countries throughout my life. The number now reaches 7. As you can imagine, my life since then has been full of expected and then unexpected differences. The people I met had different lifestyles. The people I met had different values. The people I met had different beliefs. Such experience taught me one thing. Well, accepting the difference is sometimes hard. But that grows us. Difference carries a power. Let me explain why I came to believe in this way. So, today I start my speech with a sentence that no one could potentially disagree with. Friendship is important. Having someone that we can trust is essential in keeping a quality of life, isn't it? So, I'd like you to come up with 3 new faces that you became friends with recently and think what made you closer to those people. Is that because these people have the common similar characters as you do? Or is that because these people have common social background as you do, like going to the same school, belonging to the same community, or sharing the same hobbies? The studies in social psychology confirm that the people are strongly attracted to those who share common social background to us than others. It is called similarity attraction effect. Similarity here is in a broadest sense. That can be bone structure, or the physical appearance, like a hairstyle or skin color, or life goals and missions that can be deep. Here, I'm talking about the similarities, not the differences, the main theme of my talk. Question here is, why do we feel more comfortable to be with someone who's similar to us? Why do we tend to choose someone who's similar to us? Why? The similarity attraction effect plays a role of self-affirmation. It is more likely that we get positive feedback from someone who's similar to us. We do not want someone who always tries to challenge us. That's disturbing. We do not want someone who tries to assimilate us. That's dangerous. Right? Then why do we need differences in our life? There are basically 3 key reasons why difference is needed in our life. The first clue is in our capacity to create human innovation. The past great examples in the human history shows that the great ideas often came out with the combination of different elements, different thinking, different ideas. Here, I share a couple of examples. We in 21st century are surrounded by millions of tools. That can be watches, or the mobile phones, or notebooks and pencils. But what are the tools that has been used for the longest period of time in this world? Any clues? Any ideas? Yeah? That can be hand axe. And then this is believed to have existed for 2.6 million years. The tool that we know, that we use today, is not like this, something closer to this, with wooden handle. And then this is believed to have existed for 6,000 years. A simple invention to add the wooden handle must have increased the productivity of our lifetime significantly, because with this wooden handle, we can cut the timbers, harvest the wood much faster and easily. And this invention was simply made by adding hand axe made of stone with the wooden handle. Someone very smart at that time must have thought that combination of the two works probably well. Actually, it did perfectly. But at the same time, it is worth noting that it took almost 2.5 million years before this new idea came to us. That means creating something new is hard. Actually, much, much harder than repeating the same thing in the same way as other people do. Well, a list of human invention that was blessed by the power of difference simply goes on. For example, Post-it note, as everyone uses it in office, right? It's one of the great examples of serendipity. As two scientists at 3M in 1997 came up with the idea purely coincidentally to add soft glue on a piece of paper. Another example is cotton swab. Was invented by Polish American in 1923, where he was inspired by his wife applying cotton wads to the toothpicks. Another example, as everyone knows, this is the airplane. As the Wright brothers succeeded in the first human-controlled, powered, sustained flight in 1903 with a vehicle called Wright Flyer, which had the powered engine at that time onto this glider device during that time. So all these examples, hand axe, post-it note, cotton swab, airplane, shows that the difference inspires our innovation, provokes our capacity, advances our society. Well, but the power of difference is not only limited to those. It also cultivates our personality. The process to overcome the differences around us matures us and deepens us. Here, I lived in Laos, landlocked country in East Asia. There, I was visiting a village which was very remote from the capital. It took almost 30 hours from here. So for this journey, I took the airplane, of course. I took the four-wheel drive car. I took the boat for the river. We even used our own human food. For this journey, I was very well equipped because I knew I had to walk for long hours in a muddy, steep road in a mountain. So I had the mountain boots. I had the Gore-Tex jacket. I even had the high-tech trousers for this journey. On the contrary, how well equipped were the villagers in the mountain? Nothing. They actually had simple rubber sandals like this. Already huge difference, isn't it? But the difference was not only the appearance or the equipment, but also the performance. The local people living in a mountain just had the rubber sandals like this, climb up the steep, muddy road so effortlessly, like flying in the air, while I, having all those equipments, almost breaking my breath. Oh my God, it's hard. When we reached the village, I realized I was the first foreigner who reached this place. There, my view to the relationship with the local people was fixed and unidirectional. I am the one who's going to give them a piece of advice, and they're the one who's going to receive a piece of advice from me. Not very impressive. The meeting was over. I left the village. I saw a little stream, little river down there. I thought it was an easy path. I ran down. There was a stepping stone made by local people to cross the stream. So I stepped onto those. Accident happened. I slipped on the stone, fell completely on my backside, and got wet. supplies toward the villagers. In a place like this where no one could physically fall, even 3-year-old child can make it so easily. Foreigner, me, who visited the place for the first time, came and fell and slipped and got wet. So, dozens of local people rushed up the village, came to me, and then lifted up my body from this shallow water. How shocking that was. I completely felt powerless and realized that, well, I am now being helped by someone that I tried to help. The experience told me one thing. That is the fact that the human relationship can change. The accident in this village clearly showed that my relationship with the local people dramatically changed or even overturned when we had a proper trigger like this. So, everyone has relationship in our lives, but how often do we think our roles and responsibilities can change? Students and teachers, leaders and followers, speakers and listeners, the relationship actually changed. The difference that I experienced in such a small, simple village taught one wisdom in this way. So far, we are walking through the journey on the power of difference together. It has a power that cultivates human creativity, inspires human capacity, as the examples past great human discoveries show. It also has a power to make us deeper, as the experience that I got in a small, simple village showed. They do all good things, but in a world that is getting bigger and diverse, it is also impossible to stay away from the differences. The world is getting bigger and more diverse than ever. For example, now it is estimated that 7.4 billion people exist in this world. In terms of the language background, 1.3 billion people speak Mandarin Chinese, 0.9 billion people speak English, 570 million people speak Spanish. It is actually very astonishing to see there are 6,900 languages in this world. Of course, the beautiful Armenia is one of those. In such a world that is getting bigger and diverse, more thoughts and ideas are being generated. For example, the number of patterns being applied by the residents worldwide became almost 4 times bigger in the last 3 decades. Likewise, the number of articles published by technical and scientific journals became almost 6 times bigger in the same time frame, 3 decades. Well, in a world which has more ideas and thoughts, people are getting more connected to each other. For example, the number of world population who had internet access was only less than 1%. Today, it is over 40%. In 2006, TED team in San Francisco posted the TED Talk videos for the first time. This is Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth, one of those. Now, it is estimated that over billion views are shared annually today. Isn't it amazing? So, in such a world that is getting bigger, more complex, where people are more connected, do we really think that we can stay away from different thoughts, different people, different mindsets? The answer is probably no. Yes, no. Given we are already interwoven to this diverse world through internet, technology, public transportation systems that connect our continent, our society, and individual people's mindset. So, now is our time to rethink the differences around us. It's our time to rethink our differences. The difference challenges us, but that also provokes human capacity and inspires human innovation. It is also sometimes challenging to accept the differences, but that cultivates our personality and makes us deeper. In a world like this, it is also impossible to stay away from the differences. Well, some people might argue, not every single difference plays great roles in our life. Probably true. Our partner's morning coffee style, for example, American Italian, Armenian, doesn't really matter in our life, right? Unless we try to open a coffee shop. We simply accept the difference, coexist with it, and one day forget about it. So, some differences are trivial. Some differences play a significant role. How do we distinguish the two? In other words, how do we get ready for the unexpected encounter with the great differences? How do we do? The answer, of course, lies in each of us. But what we can say very confidently is that the internal walls that we build in our heart to protect ourselves often prevents us from being open to the differences, or the blind eye that we turn to keep our quiet life often results in true blindness from new ideas, new thoughts. Difference sometimes comes into our life in the form of a unique appearance or the sound that we're not used to. But we should not close our eyes so immediately and walk away, because we never know what triggers life change, how and when. As someone very smart during that time came up with a key clue to combine hand axe and a wooden handle together, the simple things, great things can be found in simple things. Or someone who doesn't share any social background with us, therefore no similarity attraction effect applies, might come up with great idea in one day, as no one had predicted a small simple child who always tried to follow the same path as others, grew up, left the country, traveled the world, struggled with the differences, realized they can be a great teacher, determined to deliver TED speech on its power here, today, Yerevan. We never know what triggers life change, where, how. So, eagerness, open mind, curiosity remains a key to making a great encounter with the differences and draw the best out of it. So if we find internal walls that prevent us from the visible and invisible differences, let's break it together and let's become the best friends with the differences for our matured, creative, innovative future together. Thank you very much.